All right. Good morning. Welcome to the University of Denver. Thank you for taking the time to come down here this morning for our annual Basketball Media Day. We have some donuts and orange juice over there, so after this conference, feel free, load up, have at it. First up will be women's basketball head coach Jim Turgeon, who will give an opening statement, followed by a question and answer segment after. That will then be followed by an introduction to Coach Billups, who will then come up, give himself an opening statement, and as well as a question and answer segment. So with that, in his first year, Coach Turgeon led Denver to a 16-14 record last year, the first winning season since the 2011-2012 campaign. Turgeon also led the Pioneers to a 7-7 mark in league play, its highest since joining the league back in 2013. So with that said, Coach, it's all yours.
Thanks, Chris. And thank you for everybody coming out today, this morning. I'm sure there's a lot of things you guys could be doing, so I really appreciate it. Year two. I think actually I remember Rodney talking about this year, last year. Year two can be a tough year because you're mixing in the old players with the new players. But I'm happy to say they're blending pretty good. We're definitely ahead of last year. Some days after practice, I'm very, very excited about this team and thinking we can do some things special. And then some other days we're kind of look like the past. So, but I think we're definitely going the right direction. Just like last year, you know, I've commented many times, really the big jump from 6 wins to 16 wins was simply the girls let me coach them. Okay, and they had a great attitude and played together. And I'm seeing the same thing this year. And we've added a few parts that are making a difference. And if we can stay healthy, we're a little bit thin right now, but if we can stay healthy, I think we're going to make another jump this year. So I'm excited about it and looking forward to your questions here.
Coach, give us some ideas about some of the new kids that we can expect to see this year.
Well, let's talk about Courtney Smith first. She's a transfer from Northern Colorado, and we're actually hoping to hear today whether she's eligible to play or not. I think it's going to go through. She has a very high IQ, really understands the game, knows the game, and is blending in really well with our girls. And also last year, we had a lot of weaknesses, but one of them was the inside presence, to be able to score inside. Jordan Alt did a great job rebounding last year, but offensively scoring inside, we really didn't have that. And Courtney's going to add that, plus our other girls have improved. And then the big surprise is Sydney Mack from Cherry Creek High School right here in Denver. I think she was an absolute steal. What's really cool about her is when she committed to us, she's 6'1", and she's grown another inch. She's 6'2", and she plays a wing. So, again, high IQ, can shoot it, can drive it, rebound it. We're just trying to get her to shoot a little bit more. She's acting like a freshman sometimes. But, again, another high IQ kid that fits really well in the Summit, and excited about her. Those two are making an impact. Will make an impact right away.
Coach, you talk about Claire Britt. I mean, last year, outstanding coming in here. What do you expect from her and her jump?
I expect a big year. I think she'll be one of the top 5 or 6 players in the conference. She's I mentioned this in another press conference that she eats, sleeps, drinks basketball. She stayed all summer. You know, we had our girls here for about 6 weeks, but she stayed here all summer working on her game and getting in the weight room. She went home for only 2 weeks because I made her go home because she needed to go home, see her parents and her family, and mainly her dogs is what she really wanted to see. But she's taken the next step. She's her own worst critic, and we're working on that. And just recently, I've noticed some leadership skills. She's kind of, in the past, she's led by example, but now she's starting to become more vocal. So I'm very, very excited about what she's going to do this year.
The other girls on the team see her and how she brings it. That's got to be kind of going through the rest of the team, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You know, when we first arrived here last year, we just started holding girls accountable. But as a coaching staff, but when a player does it in practice and in the games and holds other teammates accountable, that's just big. But again, she does it mainly by her actions. I mean, she didn't take a day off, and what I mean by that, we have days off, obviously, but when we're in practice or we're in a workout, she goes 100% every time. She never has a bad day. You ever met that girl that's always happy every single day? She's working every single day to be a better basketball player.
Looks like there's quite a bit of youth, with the exception of Roman Howski.
Yep.
She's kind of a mainstay around here.
Yeah.
And probably what her leadership and so forth, can you speak to that?
Yeah, her dad and I have been on her about her leadership, and I say finally, she's really stepped up this year. She's had a fantastic summer and fantastic fall. Along with Claire, if I had to pick another girl that's had a great off season, she's it. I think you're going to see a stronger physically, stronger mentally, maybe a little more aggressively offensively. In fact, we've moved her. She's kind of our backup point guard now. She really sees the floor, and I like a long, athletic. Bree's awesome at the point guard, but she's long and athletic, and she's going to give us some minutes at the backup point guard this year. But I couldn't be more happy with her off season. She's been fantastic.
Looking at your non-conference schedule, you got a lot of competition early on. How do you think that's going to prepare you for the summer league?
Yeah, our non-conference schedule is whacked right now. We're working through the contracts that we had, and just the way the schedule worked out. I think we got like 6 games in a row at home, and then like 6 on the road, but our non-conference schedule on the road, we're at Nebraska, at Colorado State, at Northern Colorado, at New Mexico State. Those games are going to really help us for when we go to South Dakota. We go to South Dakota State in those venues, especially that Nebraska game. If we can be competitive in that game, because they'll have a good crowd there, it will really, really prepare us. Even if we lose that game, how we handle that game is going to help us at because we were not even competitive at South Dakota and South Dakota State last year, and that's one reason we did it, and then some of it just laid out for us that way. So I think it's going to help us for those big games on the road.
Have you lined out the short-term and long-term goals for your team this season? What are those?
I wish I had a great answer for that, but no, we don't. I'm kind of one of those old, boring coaches where we take one game at a time. Well, actually, what we do is we take 1 week at a time. So we send out a weekly schedule, and then every week we say our goal this week is to go. If we have 2 games, we go 2-0. If we have 3 games, we want to go 3-0. So we take it game by game, week by week. Now we have set up some game goals some things we look at, like what we want to accomplish that before the game, and then at during timeouts we look at them, and halftime we look at them. So we have not set any. And I got some personal goals, but as a team, we have not done that.
Coach, you kind of got Jasmine Jeffco late last year, didn't you? What has been her development? Because she was somebody that showed some flashes last year.
Well, her strength is rebounding and defense. If she can do it without fouling, she's really good. She's still. I'm gonna just be honest, and Jasmine knows this. She's still behind offensively. We had a scrimmage a close scrimmage this last Saturday, and she actually showed some flashes offensively. But what she really brings is the defense, the rebounding, but her energy. Her energy off the bench. I don't know if you remember a few times last year we were down, we'd put her in, and she'd be instant energy, with just her hustle. Sometimes that gets her in trouble with rebounding or fouling, but I hope she takes the next step. She's a great kid, and she's one of those kids that asks too many questions. What's she trying to do? She's trying to get better. So I'm glad she's on our team. Okay, well, thank you guys.